Episode 3 of Greatest Hits here on TV.thehundreds.com. I am your host, Free J Boozy. You can catch us here every single Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am joined with my co-host, Daniel Awad. What is popping, Daniel?
3's my favorite number, baby. Let's get it.
Lucky number 3?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it, yo. So each week, we'll pull timeless classics out of the vault, as well as tell you some of the stories behind each of them. Also, talk to some of the creators that brought them to life.
While you're watching, hit the chat tab to talk with the rest of your community. Don't forget, you can add these pieces to your collection now by clicking on that shopping cart tab.
Okay, now this week we are taking a very, very deep dive into the Hundreds archive, featuring some pieces that most of our viewers probably haven't seen. I mean, I haven't even seen them, so let's check this out.
Yeah, we got us a sample in here.
Tab t-shirt. Okay, so we got a lot of good prep for this episode from Bobby Hundreds, gave us a little bit of insight to this t-shirt. A couple things he brought up that I didn't really realize was a thing. So back in the 90s, people used to collect soda tabs.
Yeah, I remember
Right?
that. Yep.
That seems a little weird. That seems a little hoarder vibe to me, I'm not gonna lie.
It's
Did you do it? Is that why you're like,
No,
oh
no,
yeah,
no.
people totally
Well,
used to do this.
I
Like, yeah,
remember
like-
I remember people that would, but I wouldn't compare it to something like box tops, where it's like collect box tops and you raise money for your school or something. It was more of like a grungier, like darker background to it.
Like
you know what
maybe
I'm saying?
make some like necklaces out
Yeah,
of this shit. You know,
bracelets,
I just want you to
necklaces.
know, this is a safe space and you do not have to lie to me. Okay, so if you collected soda tabs, like it's okay, man. This is the time to air those grievances, man.
Well, I definitely had some OCD and just had to yank them off for my own.
And then you put them in the drawer? Yeah. Oh, the truth has been revealed. Okay, so what's really cool about this is the Hundreds is spelled out with those soda tabs, right? Kind of like industrial, kind of gothy. Like
Bobby cut those
grungy
up
vibe,
himself.
Right, so this is also like back to like a little bit of behind the design. This is before you could create a lot of these things on Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times graphic tees were based off of actual imagery and real scans of things. This is a perfect example of this. Bobby cut up these soda tabs himself and like scanned them in and redrawed them. And yeah, that's the result of this. Now, on the flip side of this shirt is a very, very relevant 2000s piece of information. What is that piece of information?
Let's see it.
That Red Bull gives you fucking wings. I know, so this is like a cool little flip. So it's like the idea, you know, you're working in the industry, a lot of late nights, you know, you're gonna have to get a red eye coffee.
We know
every once
those.
in a while, right?
Yep.
Red eye coffee, black coffee with a shot of espresso. No sugar, no cream, please. Right? So, couple things with this. It's almost a weird flip because, you know, Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah.
Yet there's two little bats right here. Bats gave us something else.
No comment.
So good. So with that said, this is a nice little Red Bull flip. Using, instead of saying Red Bull, it says Red Eye. You know, you're working really hard. And of course, we have the Hundreds bomb, very staple solid bomb in there.
Yep.
And so this piece is for sale now on Greatest Hits. You just hit that shopping cart tab. Live Shopping Network, don't sleep on these vintage pieces. These are all one of one from the Hundreds vault that could be part of your personal collection. So this is the tab shirt for sale now. Size medium.
So while researching this particular shirt, we found out that the graphic on the front and the graphic on the back were actually supposed to be two different shirts. But Bobby thought that they went perfect together, so we just meshed it together and made one beautiful tee.
2 for the price of 1, baby. All right, so let's move on to t-shirt number 2 from this episode.
Let's do it.
We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams.
Remember where that's from?
No, I don't.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Gene Wilder's crazy fucking ass. For the record, bro, alright, you kind of got me triggered with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? Not completely out of turn because I'm not going off of too much of a Greatest Hits tangent. We did the Roald Dahl collab, right?
We sure did.
Charlie's grandfather is like the worst man ever.
There's a crazy theory about who he really is.
Bro, insane. Anyways, back to the t-shirt. We are the music makers, we are the dreamers of dreams, right? So you said that's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. whichever one. If you're a Johnny Depp guy, if you're a Jimmy Wilder guy, you got some options.
I prefer the classic.
I know, right? But no, what's really cool about this is it kind of has a nice like soul music Motown rip to this t-shirt.
That's
right?
what I'm really picking up here.
And this is like some old phrases and monikers that the hundreds used to use. You know, we are the music makers. We like to make noise. We like to be heard. We like to be seen. You know what I mean? And the whole dreamers of dreams is like kind of inspirational. You know what I mean? It's just like you create your own surroundings. You create your own world. And streetwear is a very, very realistic thing to do that with.
There's a lot of DIY culture involved.
A lot of DIY
If you
culture
think
involved.
it, you can bring it to reality.
Look at that. Daniel Awad.
Thank you.
Okay, but again, like design-wise, there's a lot happening. Not too much of a story behind this tee, but I just thought it was really, really cool. You know, I'm a big music lover, and this has a couple really great elements to it. The record is shattered, right? And so it's just kind of, you know, like, we are the music makers, like, fuck what you heard, like, smash that shit, you're gonna listen to us now, right? So it's kind of like very abrasive, very like, in that sort of context. Also, little mixed media productions hit right there. I'm always a fan of anything that shouts out mixed media because I fucking love John Shanasfar. John Hundreds is my fucking OG, my guy.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have stuff like
You know, if it
this.
wasn't for them, we wouldn't have stuff like this. So shout out Mixed Media for handling all of the Hundreds printable production and whatnot. Really makes us able to do a lot in terms of just like variety of collabs and kind of running the calendar that we're able to run.
So, speaking of mixed media, if you take a look at this particular graphic, you can see the kind of work that they are rivaled for. They use a lot of different colors, which could take a lot of expertise to be able to get this right. The layering looks, you know, unbeatable. It's really hard to get that look to create such a beautiful graphic.
Color separation is no joke. You know, it really takes a lot of like science and a lot of trial and error with this stuff too. So Mixed Media has it very dialed in, which can be seen with this vintage Hundreds tee. All right, so we're gonna move on to one of my favorite tees. For a number of reasons, you know, I'm kind of like a Beatles mania guy. And there's Elvis kids and there's Beatles kids. You know what I mean? I was a Beatles kid.
I'm definitely a Beatles kid.
So let's look at the Make 'em Scream tee. Gotta make 'em scream, AWOD, yeah, baby. You knew it was coming. You knew. They knew. You know what I mean? Never give old Boozer a chance to fucking raise my voice, man. I fucking love yelling. Jesus. All right, so Make 'em Scream. Bobby actually gave us a really, really great rundown of this shirt earlier. I honestly like couldn't say it better himself. We're gonna try to regurgitate some of that information.
That's good.
So, what was he saying about the Union 180s?
Speaking directly to the colors that were used in this font here, at the time of the release, there were a lot of people that were fans of matching their shoes and the colors of their shoes with the tops that they were wearing.
Very 2000s.
Very 2000s, yes. So this particular shirt with the colorways that are involved are very reminiscent of the Union Nike Air Max 180. Now, if you ever seen that shoe, the color combination definitely similar to these colors that are on this shirt.
And Union, we're talking about like Union, like the staple Los Angeles
That's right.
streetwear and menswear boutique.
La Brea,
Shout out Chris Union, doing a lot of really great stuff for the streetwear world.
yes.
But again, what I really like about this shirt is just kind of like shows like the craze of like Beatles mania. Yeah, there's nothing like seeing some cops without guns, just billy clubs, because this isn't America, holding back a bunch of women losing their shit over the madness. You know, you gotta make them scream. That's one thing the Hundreds really has always done, is kept the streetwear world on their toes and always coming with some fresh shit. So this is also like one of those t-shirts that was really just like such a big hit for the brand.
Yeah.
Like this shirt was reprinted and redistributed in a number of different ways and has honestly like, these are the kind of t-shirts that all of Greatest Hits is based on.
This shirt in particular was actually a reprint for when we had the 10-year anniversary. You'll see that on this logo here. The X on the bomb is for 10 years with the Hundreds. Definitely a timeless classic.
That was very sweet, AWOD. It seems like this tee is very close to your heart, man. I'm glad.
I've been around that long.
So when you look at the Hundreds history as a whole, we are really, really into storytelling. That's mainly like what we like to do, is relaying culturally significant moments and stories and kind of putting through our medium and storytelling through t-shirts and other clothing. Now, that has been going on for like literally 17 years. This is one of the few examples in the entire Hundreds catalog that does not really have a story.
Right.
It kind of just seemed like Bobby fucked with the design and wanted to drop it, and there was nothing really more to say about it than that, which, if you know Bobby Hundreds or has ever heard him speak about anything, it's very rare that he has very little to say.
Yeah, his sentences begin and end with a story in the middle.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So this is one of the few examples with the Hundreds catalog of something we just really wanted to produce because it was aesthetically pleasing.
For sure.
Make him scream! Yeah, baby. So, Awad, this next t-shirt, you actually kind of pointed out because we were looking at tees and we were like, we should do this shit. It's a pocket tee with no front graphic.
Yeah,
it's like
really,
extremely rare.
It really caught my eye because there was no front graphic. But I mean, if you got yourself a pocket tee, it comes off as a basic shirt, but then you have this hell of a graphic on the back of it that, definitely speaks for itself.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check out next the Idea pocket tee. All right, I'm not gonna lie, Awad, I was like kind of dozing off when Bobby was explaining this one. Like typing emails on my phone.
Yeah.
Give me the rundown.
So he took a look at this and saw that the main slogan here is Idea Generators. We do all the work so you don't have to. Now, he says at the time that they were producing graphics such as this, they were playing around with team names, which is something that most brands like to start off with because it's kind of a way to set yourself apart from other brands. But the funny part is, a lot of the brands that we are competitors with like to do sort of the same things that we do, which is why that slogan came to be.
We do all the work so you don't have to. So we do all the work so you can steal my ideas.
Basically.
Honestly, I really relate because, honestly, that's just probably how like Young Thug and Future feel too. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Right? Our producer, Duke of London, is nodding in agreement.
This is the nod
to
of
something
approval.
that I have commentated on hip hop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fucking moment in history right now. Duke of London has given me the approval of my perspective within the rap culture. Holy fucking shit. Episode's over. I'll fucking see you guys later. All right, this is fucking bullshit. I'm done. I'm just kidding. We're not done, everybody. But no, go ahead and saying that, like, a lot of the time, people just be stealing ideas in streetwear. This shit happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I own a smaller streetwear, music-based brand, etc. And even us, at the level and the size we are, we see people in the scene stealing our swag, stealing our designs, stealing our aesthetic. So I know how that feels, and it doesn't necessarily feel good. Regardless though, it's just funny that like, all right, motherfuckers, like you're stealing our ideas, well here's the tea that you can try to steal too.
Yeah.
Made
this just for you.
Made it just for you.
Also, this pulls us back to that Make 'em Scream tee, where in the use of neon colors is actually something that Bobby was really into, putting up against a black background. And that definitely makes people scream with these colors.
Gotta make them scream, Awad! God! One more fun fact is this was likely a sample, and I don't even know if this tee actually ever came out. It's one of those older Hundreds pieces. It's got the Atom Bomb tag in an era where a lot of this stuff wasn't even making it to e-commerce or the internet, so it was kind of just dropped in store, and who knows? Who knows? But it can be yours now, for sale on Greatest Hits.
Get yourself some.
Okay, so that was the last thing from the vault that we have for episode 3 of Greatest Hits, season 2. And thank you everybody who has tuned in to the first 2 episodes of Greatest Hits. We really, really appreciate all of the support.
Grateful to you and our team for putting this whole thing together.
And so, without further ado, that is it for this episode of Greatest Hits, episode 3. As always, I am your host, Free J Boozy, and you can catch us here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And don't forget, you can add all these timeless pieces to your collection using the shopping cart tab.
And again, thank you to everybody who tuned in, copped a piece, or just enjoying the Greatest Hits vibe. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week.
Peace.